One of the biggest lies that we have been sold in the spiritual community is that magic and the mundane are separate concepts.
Quick editing process PSA. I completely forgot to turn off the baby monitor while I was recording, so if you hear some static in the background, that is completely my bad.
Hello, I'm Carmen Lilith, aka the Yoga Witch. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about magic within the mundane and how to notice and cultivate magic in your daily life, as well as noticing the magic that's already all around you. We have been sold this idea that to practice witchcraft or spiritual practices is to perform these huge rituals with candles and bay leaves and herbs and oils and all of these things. And as much as I love me a good ritual on a grander scale when it serves a purpose, it's not always sustainable nor realistic to always be able to keep up with those rituals. And it can even create a separation of your practice and your personal life. The belief that magic and mundanity are separate truthfully just limits modern witches from being able to implement their craft into their daily life. For me personally, as a small business owner and content creator and mom to a toddler, my daily responsibilities make it really difficult for me to have much energy or time to be able to practice these big rituals. And a lot of people are in similar situations, whether it be from work or from parenthood or whatever responsibilities you may have, as well as things like chronic illness and any other kinds of disability that really make it more difficult to give that time and energy to these massive rituals. However, when I'm able to imbue my daily responsibilities and tasks with magic and intention, simple actions such as washing the dishes or doing my skincare all of a sudden become a ritual within themselves. So, in today's video, we are going to be exploring some ways in which you can cultivate and notice magic in your day-to-day life. First up, let's talk about dishes as a grounding gratitude practice. Truthfully and honestly, I struggle with dishes as much as anyone who has a toddler who seems to eat 20 meals a day. Despite having a clear, structured system that I stick to, which is wake up in the morning and unload the dishes, load them after each and every meal, and run it after dinner and before bed each night, I still find myself having a pile full of dishes somehow. And there's typically time during the day where I have to put aside to do one of what has always been one of my least favorite chores. As a neurodivergent person, doing the dishes is truly sensory hell for me, and I'm sure that some of you can relate to that. Thank the goddesses, I have found the power of dish gloves as well as a mindset shift, reframing my perspective on the meaning behind washing dishes. This particular concept of washing dishes as a spiritual practice was originally brought to me by one of the teachers in my yoga teacher training. We were discussing practicing yoga off the mat when she decided to use washing dishes as an example of that, explaining how washing your dishes can actually be a meditative mindfulness practice. Being present with your breath, noticing the sensations of the warm water, watching the suds of soap flowing down the drain, breathing in the scent of a nearby incense, candle, or oil, practicing the art of awareness and mindfulness and presence while doing something as mundane as the dishes. This simple mind shift significantly changed the way that I view doing this task, and I decided to take it a step even further by turning it into a daily gratitude practice. Having a sink full of dishes is pure evidence that me and my child were able to eat 3 meals today with snacks in between. And for that, I am truly grateful. So when I'm washing the dishes, I name it, either in my head or out loud. You can do this however feels comfortable to you, and you can also tailor it to be your own. Some things that I might say is I thank the earth for the crops and the livestock. I thank the farmers for tending to the land and animals. I thank the pollinators for their abundance. I thank the plates and the bowls for holding and serving our food. I thank the sink for supplying us with the ability to always have clean dishes to eat from. This practice of gratitude helps to ground me into awareness of the abundance that is already surrounding me, which is already magic within itself. And when you take the time to practice gratitude and notice the abundance you already have, it makes your manifestations that much stronger. Another way that I infuse my daily tasks with a little bit of magic is with my wake up and wind down rituals. Up until fairly recently, I have always been the type of person to stay up past midnight, and if life allowed, I would sleep past noon if I truly could. I had absolutely no semblance of a morning or evening routine and was really just like white knuckling it through life. After giving birth to my daughter, though, I kind of did not have a choice but to wake up early, because when you have a child who is a morning bird for some reason, you have to become one too. I thought that in order to have any time for myself in the day, I had to stay up even later to compensate, because I was up from the moment I woke up in the day. I was with her until the moment she went to sleep. This resulted in me being chronically exhausted and sleep deprived, and made my postpartum anxiety so much worse. And don't even get me started on how the sleep regressions impacted this as well. Anyone who's had a baby, you know what I'm talking about, and my heart goes out to you. Now though, I have my daily wake and rise ritual as well as my evening wind down ritual. This helps to make mornings feel more exciting and magical and give me something to truly look forward to for a reason to wake up in the morning and have the ability to care for myself before having another living being depending on me for their livelihood, as well as have some time to kind of like reset and fill up my own cup before I go to bed as well. During these daily rituals, I do a lot of the things that I would typically do anyways, even before I implemented these. There are some newer things that I've added more recently, but most of these are just redundant self-care needs that I have implemented deeper intention and gratitude and presence behind each of these practices. I won't go into each step specifically in this video, although if that is something that you'd be interested in, like an Ayurvedic morning and nighttime routine, please let me know, and I'm happy to do a video on that, or even on my personal morning and evening routine as a Vata Pitta. But one example of how I am able to ritualize these daily practices can be reflected in my skincare. Each stroke of my dry brush, I am releasing something. During my gua sha, I stay present with my breath. Each and every product I use is intentionally chosen specifically for my skin and not just some trending one-size-fits-all type of product. I've even made my own enchanted toner that I use multiple times a day, truthfully. I always just give it a little spritz whenever I feel like I need a little freshen up. And I make it with moon water and witch hazel and tea tree. I practice Abhyanga, or an Ayurvedic warm oil self-massage. as an act of devotion to myself, thanking each part of my body as I move through it. I even like to enchant my tools and products from time to time with glamour magic, or sometimes even protective magic, and sometimes even practice self-care as an offering of devotion to different goddesses that align with whatever practice it is that I'm doing, or depending on what my intention behind the practice is. You can fully customize morning and evening and skincare rituals to align with your needs. And if you are curious about a deeper look into anything I just mentioned, feel free to ask below, and I will either answer your question in the comments or happily make a video on that. Next up kind of bounces off of the first one just because it's kind of in the same realm regarding like cleaning and chores. But keep in mind, like, as a stay-at-home mom, a lot of my daily practices are keeping up with the house and tending to my child. So these are ways that help me personally to imbue my daily practices with magic. But you can still apply these principles to things that you do in your daily life. So moving on, we have cleaning as a cleansing ritual. The fastest and most effective way to energetically cleanse your space is by cleaning your space. Feeling stuck in old cycles, go through your closet, get rid of old clothes, donate household items that you don't use anymore or clutter that's taking up space, and do this as a releasing ritual. Home energy feeling dense? Add a splash of Florida water or moon water to your mop water. Wipe mirrors, doors, windows with moon water or Florida water. And again, you can get creative with these practices. Just be mindful each time that you clean that you're not just physically cleaning your space, you are energetically cleansing. Next up is glimmers and noticing the magic. The smell of fresh baked bread, coffee in the morning, the view of trees or flowers or birds outside your window, a good library book, the laughter of a loved one. Notice that magic already exists all around you. Glimmers are the opposite of triggers. They occur when something makes you feel magical or joyful or hopeful or at peace. Simply just something that makes you smile for a moment. Sometimes it can be really easy to look around and notice all of the bad that's around you. And the practice of noticing glimmers helps to ground you in the good that surrounds you as well. And this is not at all meant to be in like a spiritual bypassing way. Like, yes, we need to acknowledge when things aren't serving us, and bring awareness to that and take action against those things. And also, because it's nuanced and there is duality in everything, it is so important to also notice the good that's around you. So to help with this, anytime a glimmer appears, write it down in your notes app, carry a journal around with you to write it down in, take a picture of it with your phone, and pretty soon you'll have a collection of glimmers, of things that make you smile, of the magic in your daily life. And eventually it will become easier and easier to notice and shift you from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset. When you are in a lack mindset, you just notice all that you lack and all of the bad and all of the negative. When you're in an abundance mindset, you're able to truthfully look at what might need shifting while holding so much presence and space and gratitude for the abundance you have, thus attracting more abundance and peace and gratitude and joy. Life truly is that magical if you allow it to be. So, to wrap it up, there are so many ways that you can incorporate magic into your mundane, everyday life. Practicing witchcraft does not have to be this huge energy training thing that leads you to burnout. Instead, it can be a culmination of 100 little things that are already part of your daily life. So stir intention into your teas, give honor to Aphrodite as you lotion your body, thank your dishes for serving you and your loved ones, and whatever you decide to take and implement from this video, be sure to notice the magic that is already all around you. Dreaming out loud.